Denver 8 TV, your city, your source.
Good morning, everyone, and let me thank you for coming out. I want to thank our police chief, the incomparable Robert White, and of course, the most handsome public works director in the nation, Jose Cornejo, for being here, as well as our members of the Denver City Council, without question the best city council in the nation, represented by Councilwoman Judy Montero and Councilwoman Debbie Ortega. We also are joined by members of our public works staff, as well as our bike advisory committee here today. We're so excited to once again announce our great Heads Up campaign. Let me start by again thanking Bike Denver, Walk Denver, and the advisory committee, Bike Advisory Committee, for being here today, for joining us. To AAA Colorado, who is our sponsor for the Heads Up campaign. They will offer bike roadside assistance and also help start the Bike to Work Wednesdays that will continue throughout the month of June. We are so excited that the spring and summer have arrived. It is beautiful out here. It's a beautiful day. And as the warm weather comes upon us, we know that people will be brushing off their winter rust and getting outdoors. That means that more people will be on our roads and our walkways. And we're all here to encourage those who live, work, and play in Denver to keep their heads up. And that's why we're proclaiming June Heads Up Month. Denver, without question, is a fast-growing outdoors community comprised of very active people using all modes of transportation, exactly what we have designed our city and our region to be. People are biking, they're walking, they're busing, they're scootering, and we see it all. We see it in all different parts of our city. We are a city that is about moving people and not necessarily about moving cars. But to keep everyone safe, we recognize that as we grow this culture of multimodalism, each one of us needs to take responsibility for ourselves and pick our heads out of our cell phones and follow the laws. And it doesn't take you to drive very far to see people texting and driving and being distracted operating their vehicles. We need folks to put their smart devices down and to operate their vehicles in a responsible, aware, alert manner. And just as they're doing that in their automobiles, we need people on bicycles and who are walking and on scooters to observe the laws. The city and our partners are working every day to promote responsible behavior. We are focused on engineering, enforcement, and education, the 3 E's. Our public works team is constantly looking at how to make our roads and walkways safer. Our police are out. They're reminding people to obey the laws, and you're going to hear about that in just a moment from Chief White. And our biking and walking advocates are right by our side, advancing this multimodal culture. I want to say thank you to all of the volunteers that have committed to help raise awareness every Sunday throughout the month. But this is all for naught if we do not have you, the public, the commuters, partnering with us to support this effort and raising awareness constantly. So I'm standing here today as your mayor to ask you to join us in raising awareness, not just throughout the month of June, although we're proclaiming the month of June as Heads Up Month, but moving forward throughout all of the months throughout this year. I have seen this community come together to achieve a great deal. But in order to keep people safe, we're going to need everyone to put their hands on deck and go to work. This is an opportunity for us to put preventable and frankly nonsensical biking and walking accidents to bed and create a safer multimodal community. And with that, I'm going to invite our great chief to come forward, Chief White, who is a great partner in this effort, to share a few words. But first, you got to get slapped.
There's actually only 2 people that permit to slap me, my wife and my boss. Good morning. As the mayor has stated, as we continue to encourage our residents to use the various modes of transportation, whether it's driving a car, riding a bike, or walking as a pedestrian, our primary focus and concern is that they do it in a safe fashion. As a matter of fact, last year, when the mayor kicked off Heads Up, we spent the entire year educating those individuals riding the bike, educating the pedestrians, and also educating the motorists. And what we're asking is that they pay attention. As the mayor has stated, get off the phone if you're driving and you're talking. Get off the phone if you're walking and you're approaching a crosswalk. If you're riding a bike, pay attention. Cyclists have the same obligation as motorists, individuals driving cars, as relates to making sure that they're going by all the traffic regs. Last year we did a lot of education. This year we're going to continue the education, but I also tell you that we're going to be more aggressive in enforcing. Part of the program was intervention, prevention, education, and enforcement. While we're going to continue to do the education part, we're at a point where we're going to do the enforcement part. And we've targeted some areas that we think that are been a challenge for our community, a challenge as relates to the enforcement and people violating, whether they're walking, riding a bike, or driving a car. We've gotten relatively aggressive in enforcing that. The good news is, I think the message is starting to spread to the community. When I look at last year to date compared to this year to date, we have a slight decrease in bicyclist accidents. We have a more significant decrease in pedestrian auto accidents. So we're making progress. We still have a long ways to go. I would tell you, accidents in general, as relates to just all accidents, but especially as relates to pedestrians and bicycles and vehicles, it's been a trend. It's been a trend that's been in the uptick across the country. We just sent some people to a police chief conference last week, and one of the things that chiefs across the nation, major chiefs across the nation, talked about the challenges they're having in dealing with accidents in general, but specifically as relates to pedestrians and vehicles and bicycles and vehicles. So again, we're asking people, this is preventable. This is simply a matter of paying attention, following the rules, making sure that you are going by what the traffic regs require. So I want to thank everyone for being here, and I would ask you to help spread the message. Heads up. I'm sorry, it's now my pleasure to introduce the Executive Director of Public Works, Jose Conejos. Payback.
Except here, I guess I allow my wife, the chief of police, and my boss, just like our department is very, very excited to be part once again of the Heads Up campaign. Public Works is very committed to create a very safe, reliable, and multimodal transportation system in Denver. That means we are focused on person trips, as the mayor mentioned, and in that process, we're providing all the residents and visitors in Denver with a wide range of options to move around our city. We are constantly making safety improvement to our system, including installing larger, brighter LED traffic signal lights at every intersection where possible, giving pedestrians more time to cross the street, adding protected bike lane to the network, as you have seen on 15th Street, and promoting alternative modes of travel. However, as Chief White mentioned, that's not enough. Engineering solutions can take us only so far. So this month we're also assisting with an education and outreach effort, putting volunteers at different intersections the next 2 Wednesdays to educate people about pedestrian and bike safety. We're asking you, the community, for your support and cooperation. We're asking motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians to take responsibility of your travel, follow the traffic signals, the traffic signage, follow the speed limits, look out for each other, and understand that we all have to share the same public right-of-way, including streets and sidewalk. Drive like your children and your family live here, because they do. Thank you for being here today. Keep your heads up and have a safe summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief White and Jose Cornejo. I'm going to allow Councilwoman Montero to come forward and get slapped as well.
Oh.
Councilwoman Ortega.
Hi, everybody. I would just like to thank you so much for coming, and thank you, Mayor and everyone for taking the opportunity to just take this step forward. It requires just a little shift in everybody's thinking as you're driving. And I have to say that I have a voice of reason in my car. Her name is Hope. And my daughter is always saying, stop that, stop here. So I have a co-pilot who's always reminding me about being safe on the roads. But we have such an amazing city with beautiful, beautiful weather. And the idea of us coming together and sharing the roadway and doing it in a respectful way so that everybody can enjoy it is great. So heads up, I'll be reminding all of the folks that I represent and also my family. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions if you have any. Any questions? Well, wonderful. We said enough. Thank you all so very much for being here. Heads up.